People who think Earth is flat just can't understand how, with all the evidence supporting flat Earth, most normal people still think Earth is a ball. That's where debunkers come in. We try and help these poor confused freaks understand that regular people do not fall for flat earthers' evidence, even when it's true. It's surprising how easy it is to be deceived by flat Earth debunkers. We tell people, normal people, exactly how to think, and that's why they keep coming back. It's not always easy to believe things that make absolutely no sense. People who claim Earth is flat are often not even 100% positive of their own beliefs and like to try to show evidence to back up their so-called beliefs.
Man, I don't trust that map, the AE map, don't trust it.
Often admitting openly that if they are wrong, that it's okay, no big deal. Most Americans learned everything they know about our solar system in school, on TV, and in the movies, so it makes sense to continue to give important disinformation to those that want it, and please the majority, right or wrong. The government always tells the persons exactly what they want them to know, what is right, and it's just silly to think that the government would hide anything. People who learn the Earth is flat say that NASA uses harnesses and CGI to fake space. There seem to be a large number of videos in this particular genre of so-called NASA lies on YouTube, oftentimes proving fraud. The so-called visual evidence of actual doctored NASA footage still is not sufficient reason to deny the moon landings for any person considered normal today. Get some real evidence is what we debunkers say. People who know that Earth is flat often mention that NASA openly admits that we no longer have the technology to go to the moon today. We lost it. Those are almost the exact words of NASA veteran astronaut Don Pettit. Even though what Mr. Pettit said doesn't make any sense considering phones today are a million times more powerful than computers used in the lunar lander for the moon landing, debunkers like me just ignore these things. It's much easier than trying to prove something that looks like a bad high school project went to space. People who know Earth is flat also point out that NASA has many instances of strange unexplained videos including water bubbles in space, stories of astronauts almost drowning while on spacewalks, and even though these clips and stories happened, things like space are complicated, so it's really best for debunkers like me to help explain why often we will just never be able to understand complicated things like gravity. We went to the moon, trust me, it was on TV. And one more thing regarding astronauts almost drowning on spacewalks. Being a debunker, what stands out is not one but two astronauts almost drowned on the spacewalks. It seems more than just coincidental that astronauts train in pools and then two astronauts almost die from drowning in space. This is obviously an outright fraud, but that's why people trust debunkers. We all want to hear what we believe, and then no one has to worry about where all that water is coming from in space. People who know Earth is flat often think ignorance clouds normal people's judgment. They claim that the saying that says when ships go over the horizon that the sails disappear from the top down is due to, quote, perspective, not because the ship is dropping below the horizon due to Earth's curve. This one is interesting for us debunkers because I found out it is actually true. When I first heard this, I was like, no way, but I went to YouTube and there are a ton of videos proving ships don't go over the horizon. All you need is a telescope and you see them again. So me and a bunch of other debunkers got on and debunked them one by one by just mocking the crazy flat earthers who made them. Most people don't really listen anyway, so once they see a debunker smash down a weak young fawn flat earther, they get brave and they join us. Often people who know the Earth is flat think they can trick you and try and use logic on you to confuse you from the deception, but usually everyone buys flat Earth in the end because they were wrong and they didn't know it. So be careful and listen to them so that you don't go back to the lies that you were told. Flat Earthers always say, don't trust me, look for yourself. Debunkers take it to the real scientists, and even though they are paid by the government, I can tell you 100% the scientists are right. No need to bother yourselves with looking at the evidence, just keep focused on working and paying those taxes. There are many conspiracy debunker friends of mine who I respect more than even my most cherished career politician and lawyer friends. Education is so helpful in keeping your mind focused only on those things that really matter anyway. Bank account, career, massive house, cars, having fun. These poor flat earthers think they are going to change the world just because water is flat. Debunking flat earthers is often fun. They never stop with their confusion tactics, always denying gravity, like we cannot even describe what it is.
Like what it is? I don't know.
And even though Neil deGrasse Tyson says that we cannot even describe what gravity is.
Like what it is? I don't know.
We all know that the moon is 200 million miles away. It is very easy to calculate 200 million miles, and since nobody ever seems to bother really checking into it, there's no need for the evidence. And so all we know is that all these flat earthers have is evidence that supports their case, nothing else. For conspiracy debunkers, one argument I have used many times to destroy the ball Earth conspiracy is the cocoon effect, the explanation offered without any proof that the atmosphere is connected to and literally moves with the Earth as it spins. Just a small amount of effort leads to the conclusion this is a completely insane idea. But it does not matter. Flat Earthers need to learn it's a numbers game us debunkers are playing, not an evidence game. So that's why Flat Earthers get so many negative comments. Us debunkers are not going to waste our time on evidence that weakens our case. It's much more effective to just call these people names. Debunking Flat Earthers has literally become a job for me. I love it. I get paid big money to swat down these pesky little annoying freaks who can't even use their own minds to imagine a world that we describe, rather than reality. I do feel bad for some of us debunkers. Often the Flat Earthers bring up such crazy ideas, usually with all kinds of rock-solid evidence, and even though they're right and there really is no way to counter them, it is still just too easy to blast them down with some insults. In just a few minutes' time, all kinds of people will be making fun of them, and sometimes I do feel bad debunking them like that, because it is kind of like cheating. But if I do not have any other way to go, and their evidence backs me into a corner, that's what I do, and it works like magic every time. So keep trying to spread the truth, my Flat Earth friends, and I'll keep debunking you with my peanut gallery zombie army cheering for ignorance like the lunatics that they are.